Hello, sexy souls. Welcome to Weird and Woo Woo. Oh, my chair's making a debut. Woohoo! Okay, so it might be speaking or squeaking, you know, whichever way you want to say it. While we're in the midst of this, that usually is a sign of a good reading, so we're just going to take the omen, okay? What are they going to try to say? Oh, welcome to Weird and Woo Woo. We're all weird and woo woo. So there you go. It's kind of in the title, right? If that's not you, I hope you have a fantastic and wonderful day. If it is, we're about to pull some cards, okay? Let's just remind everybody, I am one person and I cannot channel for all 7 billion people on this planet at the same time. Therefore, we never Cinderella this shit to make it fit, okay? Alrighty. This is a money matters reading. We're starting with Madame Endora's fortune-telling deck. Took me a hot moment. Sorry about that. Let's go ahead and dive on in. Seek a union of mind and spirit. Okay. Woo! You're safe from harm. Okay. Okay. Got the shield. Nice. A long journey brings rewards and authority and diplomacy. Let's see where this is going to go, guys. Alrighty. We're going to have the Fallen Angel Oracle. These feel tight. Like, why do they feel... They kept sticking out. Like, I don't know. We're going to stick one of those in the middle. I don't know why it's feeling like that. Oh, and the sun. Like, these feel so hard. I'm about to put them in the midst of things. I don't know why those are feeling so weird. Maybe something's feeling hard to you. But, you know, I was channeling about, like I was getting the energy of being productive and like having energy to spare. Like, I got this. Like, you know how like sometimes when you're the most minute productive and suddenly you're spent, like you can only do so much. Like, this feels like productive with energy to spare. That's what I was getting. I should have said that in the beginning. That's what I was getting. So let's see here. Help and healing. Okay, that one tried to come out, so we're going to take that one. History. Good Lord. Turmoil. Something's going to come. You're going to get some help. It's almost like it's needed. It's necessary. Because you have, I guess, a lot of history with some level of turmoil. Let me feel... Anything else in regards to the history? I think there's something with the history piece. Moderation. I think you've been going at it hard, hot and heavy. Like, you've been, like, it's been expending you. Oh, I think you're about to get into energy of being productive and having energy left over. And they're talking like you've got a long history of overextending yourself and expending all of your energy and not having much left over, right? I feel the energy of like being emotionally and mentally spent. And that, like, there's a history of a lot of turmoil. And so this help, I feel like, is going to be a way to help give you moderation in your life, where you're not having to carry as much of a load or do as much. Like, it's going to lighten the load some. It's going to help make things manageable so that you have, so that one, you're productive and that you have extra energy. Okay. Okay. Because I feel like you take on, you have way too much. I just feel like saying there's life, and then there's been things that have like really spent you mentally and emotionally. You know how it's like, you can have a job, right, where you're doing a lot of work physically and you might be tired, but it's another thing, but you might still have a bit of your mental capacity with you, right? You may be falling asleep, but like there's mental exhaustion. You ever notice how like when you have mental exhaustion, your body is done, crispy burnt done, even though you've not necessarily done something to like expend a lot of physical energy, but it's like the whole system shuts down then, right? So when you're mentally and emotionally spent and overcharged, like overcharged as in like electricity, like charged up, like over, you know what I mean? Like it's just too much. That's what it feels like to me. And so life was just too much. Like it was, honest to God, too much. And I want to say, this feels like it's beyond just work. This could be an exceptionally exhaustive, mentally exhaustive, you know. But I feel like life in of itself just took one too many kicks. Because I'm feeling like family, like outside of work obligations and burdens and circumstances that created a lot of turmoil for you. So you've got like this, and I don't know why they're giving it to me like this, but some of you all couldn't do much here recently, because it feels like some people may have actually had a major we'll call it a tower moment in your life, upheaval, because I am honestly feeling like some people have lost loved ones, that there's been some they're saying divorce. So like it's like whatever energy you had, I feel like you may not feel like you were as productive, and that you never had any energy left over, because your mental faculties and your spiritual body and your emotional body were all churning, because I feel like this, like there was a lot that had to be done to heal. And so from something, and they're giving me this scenario or situation where something major happens, and during that major event, you're like, go, 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 go. You're on it. You got it. You've got everything in the bag. You're handled. And not even like go, 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 but like you're handling everything very well. You're on top of things. It's not like, you know, it's like those people who know what to do in a crisis. So this might have been like a crisis for some of you. I do feel like there's a good, I was going to say a portion, and they were like a good half of you that had some major events, which I think, let's just be honest with you. A lot of people have, because of the pandemic and all the ramifications and after effects from the pandemic that we're dealing with now economically. You could have lost a job and been on the brink of like losing your housing, and you know, like all kind, and when you have things external to you to take care of, people to take care of, like other demands, like I just want to say, you're out of the thick of it, but you're like at the tail end of. So to me, it reminds me of people who don't really get the chance to process or deal with anything or move through while the event is happening. It's after the fact that it's like, you know, you got your shit together while things are, and it could have been like a prolonged event. Like you got your shit together and you're managing and you're going, and then after, when the coast is clear, is when you kind of crumble, is when things kind of like just, and so I get the sense that you feel like whatever period you're in that seems to be kind of like tapering off right now is one where you have felt like you're not productive and you've got no energy and you don't understand why. And so I feel like what they're saying is there's a level of coming back into unity with the self, right? Coming back online, as I like to call it, where both your mind and your life force are like matching one another, right? Because you may have had moments where you're like, I've got energy and my mind's just not with it. I can't like you're mentally exhausted. And then there's times where you're like, your mind's like, I got to do this, and I'm on point, and I'm thinking of things to do, you know, like a to-do list, and da-da-da, and it's like your whole spirit was just, you know what I'm saying? Your energy, I take spirit to be like your life force, and it wasn't there. And so things are kind of coming back into alignment. And they're wanting you to know, you know, sometimes when you first crawl out of that, that dynamic, you might feel on alert a little bit. Because I feel like it's like your body is not completely rid of. I feel like there's like an energetic imprint. I think your physiological body still has like this remembrance. It still feels like recent past, right? But it's all paying off. Like whatever level of struggle you felt like, whatever things you've gone through and whatever you're going through, you're continuing to go through right now, it is coming to an end. You are coming back online. And Spirit's going to send in some level of help. It seems like you're going to get help at this point in order to ensure that as you embark back out in life, like when things are finally in union and like you can actually be productive and, you know, in a way where you still have energy. Like, I feel like they're like, they don't want you to hit the ground running. They want you to get back. They want you to be able to maintain. There's a need to have maintenance of moderation right now, right? Because you're at the tail end of something, because it's just coming to an end. It says, and your body still remembers. Your body still has memory within it, within your cells, and it's been working to purge that, but it's like it feels too recent to kind of like overdo it. You can send yourself back into that. And they're like, we're going to make sure you're going to get the help you need to make sure you don't enter into that. That life is manageable. Okay? Let's find out. Okay, perfect analogy, guys. So most of y'all know I have kids. If you're new, guess what? I have kids. You know how like when you're a child, and if you don't have kids, that's okay. This analogy is going to make still perfect sense. Because I'm sure you remember when you were a child and like you were sick, right? I was like, yeah, the stomach flu. The next day, like, woohoo, I'm not sick anymore. And it's like, hold on now. Because, you know, you go out running around and it's like, you literally discharge that battery within like an hour. You come in, I don't know why I feel like this, because you went too hard, too fast, too quick, right? So it's like you're not completely out of the woods, because there is like a remnant of healing of letting your body get used to feeling productive and having energy left over. Like sometimes we think, oh, I have energy left over, I gotta keep going, and it's like, no, 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 no. And I always have to remind my children, I know you're not puking right now, you know, the next day, and you might have been able to chug that ginger ale and them crackers and you're all good, and you think that, woohoo, swinging from the chandeliers all of a sudden, because it's way drastically better than it was, right? Last night, your head was hanging in the bucket, and you thought that surely, to goodness gracious, there's no way you were going to survive whatever was happening, and things were coming up, you know, whatever, all kinds of orifices. And it's like, and so like the drastic difference may trick you into believing, but it's like in this, like Spirit's gonna like, I just feel as if it's like, they want you to maintain moderation, okay? You're going to get the help. That doesn't mean that you get to, you know, like, let's say there's like, I've got to take care of 100 things, and say send somebody in and they're like, oh, we'll take care of 50 of it. You only take care of 50 of it, 50% of it. And you're like, oh, I can now go for 150 because I've got the one person hold it. So I can still do the 100. They're like, no, that wasn't the point. Okay. Not yet. Okay, got it. So I feel like there's like authority and diplomacy. I feel like that might have, let's dive into, we're going to leave these over here. La 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 la. I know somebody went la 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 with me. Long journey brings rewards. So we're talking about the rewards because you're coming out of it, right? Authority and diplomacy. All right, let's get that one. I'm gonna look into these two. these two, Spirit. Let's talk. Alrighty, we're going to use Starman Tarot. I don't know why. Anytime something pops in, right, I'm just going to say it. Because this scenario could play a million different ways, guys. Like for someone may get like an extra amount of money, and that's meant to help compensate so that you're not having to work as hard and that you can take some time for yourself. Like, I don't know why I'm getting like, if you get a business grant or if you get a business loan, use that to help offset costs, and don't be like, but I've got to make it, like, I've got to do it. Like that's there so that you can kind of ease your way into something, right? You receive this in order to ease your way into something. You're not meant to, like, you don't have to go full throttle, so that you can get your bearings and kind of get a really good workflow and stuff like that. So somebody may come into some type of money. That money is meant to offset so you don't have to work as hard for the next couple of months, so that you can kind of get back into the swing of things. Does that make sense? Yeah, it makes sense. I apologize. I know that my thingy, 9 of Swords. Funny that I laid that right on you are safe from harm. Okay. Yeah, let's just pull these. Ooh. Okay, so you're going from the 9 of Swords. I feel like that's that mental exhaustion. Fear, anxiety, worry, entrapment, mentally just spent into the 9 of Cups. This is like complete, personal, genuine, sincere contentment and joy. That's why it's a wish fulfillment card. What would really make you happy? What would really allow you to feel free from the 9 of Swords? Whatever that is. Okay? And then we have the Ace of Cups. Like being replenished. Feeling like your cup is full. And then 10 of Wands. This is the burden that it's going to lift. Because the idea behind the 10 of Wands is having what you've had to do and endure all by yourself, where it becomes almost unbearable. But it's like, remember I said you're at the tail end, like something's ending? That's the 10 of Wands. You're at the tail end of it. You know, he's like, what? Like, this is like walking 25 miles and then realizing the place that you get to stay at is up 4 flights of stairs. You're like, oh shit. You know, like trying to make it, you know, you're at the tail end of something, and they're like, so it feels crispy done, right? He's out in the day, like, oh my God, I just don't even know how I can do that. And it's like something comes in, like the 10 of Wands is all about no longer having to do it on your own. You're getting help. Remember, you're no longer going to have to do it on your own. You're going to get the assistance that you've been desiring. Problem is that had you received any level of assistance previous to this, during that time when you felt like you were unraveling, like, you know, like you didn't deal with something and over the course of the last whatever, you finally were dealing with it, like you were experiencing the aftermath, right? And it was like during that time frame, people will intentionally disassociate and refocus in order to escape allowing their, I just feel the sense that someone's it's like somebody's body was and mind were purging the fears. Like there was so much turmoil in your past that you spent some time purging. And you may have felt like your brain was just kind of going nuts on you, you know, like chaos and like, when it's okay now it's not, it's okay now it's not, like where's this coming from, all that kind of stuff. And it's like your body was releasing something, okay? But the Ten of Wands says this is the end of that. And now you get to move into the Ace of Wands, right? And so, okay. Six of Pentacles, that's the help. That's the fucking help. It balances things out. It brings things into, I'm just going to pull these down just a little bit. It brings everything into, you're receiving something in order to bring about that balance, okay? To keep things moderate. But I want to pull this out, guys. Sorry, I'm moving everything around, I know. A long journey. So that's where it is. We've covered that. What is this authority and diplomacy? We're going to go with Azathoth Tarot. Authority and diplomacy. So it's like you're at that tail end. That's what the long journey brings rewards. You can do this now. You can receive it because I mean, I just feel like things may have felt chaotic. I'm gonna be honest with you. And for some of you, that's like a short, like some of you, I feel like this felt like a long, drawn out process. And then for others, this may be like a very short event. You know, like we're like I'm thinking like, let's say 8 months ago something happened, and then you know it's not like like years worth. But some of you, this was a much longer process. Tell me about authority and diplomacy, please. The King. I do get the sense that you then, like, there's this idea of becoming the authority. Look at that. Ten of Wands coming out again. Card of oppression. What's that got to do with authority and diplomacy? Good Lord. Told you, a new start. You go from the 10 to the 1. We have the 10 of Wands, the Fool, 9 of Swords again. I feel like there was too much of a burden. Like there was too much burden, too much worry, too much mental anguish to have a new start. Okay? There really, really was. And then we have the 6 of Pentacles again, and yet again, shit. And then the 9 of Pentacles. So this somebody is bringing in something that's going to be, so I feel like the authority and diplomacy is the source of where this is coming from. What specifically is tell me about the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, we're sticking with it. Knight of Pentacles, 6 of Pentacles. I mean, I gotta be honest with you, a lot of time for a good number of you, this is some level of money that's going to come in. I don't know why they're acting like they're saying from a secure source. So like this isn't like a maybe, maybe not. It has this. It's not necessarily a king, but it is a knight. And in that, I feel like there's this level of like it's not fleeting. This money's not fleeting. So either it's enough of an amount of money where it's like it'll hold you over during this time frame, or like it's something that has continuity to it. So it might, you know what I mean? Because very specifically, they're doling out money right here. And the idea is, behind the 6 of Pentacles, is to take whatever resource this is, whatever help this is, and kind of like reinvest it so that you can get to the level of stability and freedom that this individual who is handing this out. But it's funny because it's like something is being, like, it's not a handout, but something's being given. We have the Scales of Justice. So maybe this is something that's been owed to you. I'm gonna whip out, let's see here. Give me just a second, guys. We're gonna use Lenormand really quick to find out some information on this. Is there anything else about where this is coming from? Look at that. It's gonna, okay, so there is a message coming in. There is a message. Yeah, give me more on the whip, please. I don't know why. They just said glutton for punishment? Like what? The whip has something to do with you, whoever I'm reading for. Like, okay, so message coming in. Somebody bringing a message to you. Messenger is about somebody arriving, but it's obviously the messenger card. So there is a level of communication that's coming in. Look. You can't see. So down here, like I feel like it got cut off, but I had this laid down like in front of me where there's no cards. I don't know if you can see it or not. But it's about money. Somebody's going to get a message of money. I'm going to pull cards on this one to clarify this. But it's almost like it's coming from a familiar, it's like it's not known that this is going to happen. But, you know, the Garden card is networks of people, circles of individuals, your community. It feels like a known source. But it's also unknown. Like you're not in the know that this is coming. So it may be from a friend, it may be from so you know, this is about like contracts, legal documents, agreements, commitments, things like that. So there may be, it may either be in the form of there's a contract, there's an offer, or I don't know why I get like the idea of somebody, you know, like the business loan, or I'm also getting like somebody that's receiving something that's like owed to them. You know how like sometimes you will, let's say you close out a bank account. I'll tell you this, like when my dad passed, we closed out a bank account, and he had actually, we had found out that he had overpaid on his, basically he had overpaid on his vehicle loan. And so he had the loan through a particular bank. And so they created an account and money was going into that instead of just telling somebody. Is that, you know what I mean? They put money in an account for him. And so we found out there was money in that. It's the weirdest thing. And it was like, but so it was owed, you know, and it was pure happenstance and all kinds of, you know, like, we're like, okay. Same thing. No kidding. I don't know what it was up with my dad in overpaying stuff. Like he just couldn't, I guess, keep track at some point. Like he overpaid for his life insurance policy. So they created another, like they did like a secondary one for him. And my mom discovered that. So it's kind of like that stuff. Like, or like when you go to close out an account, well, I'm just trying to think, like your bills, you know, like there's an account that you're closing out, you get money back. But this obviously feels bigger than that, but I'm trying to think of like scenarios where that would happen. You know what I mean? So it could either be something that you're owed, or, you know, that's like legally binding, has some level of contract with, wait, let's find out what this is. Why is the whip coming out? Why do I feel like somebody doesn't realize? I keep getting like a sense of self-sabotage. Like maybe But it's like, I don't get the energy somebody's going to say no to this. It's like, maybe it was always there, but because of the mental turmoil, you didn't really you didn't really like access it. But now that things are balanced, and this is going to help bring moderation, and this is the help that you need. So actually it's in perfect timing, because I don't know. We have like an unknown, in which we already up here. There's somebody within your circle, or something within your purview, within your network, that's unknown to you. Or maybe there's a new network that you're going to connect with that's unknown, a group that's unknown, because we have this, like, this start that's just not known to somebody. And the idea with this Ace of Spade and the female, I'm feeling drawn to liken it to like the Queen of Swords, who normally has like a great, grand, broader picture of things, and has a really pulled out understanding, so they have like a good grasp of something. So why? It's like, how is that? I'm going to pull from, because the Whip card is kind of like, it can be self-sabotage. It can be self-deprecating type of energy, that kind of stuff. So it's one of those things where it's like, is it tied to the message? This just feels like unexpected. I'm just going to be honest with you. Thief card is like missing an opportunity, or not seeing something, getting distracted, which you may have during your healing process. You may have been distracted from this. You know, again, there's some level of legal documents, paperwork, notary, something or other. This can be like new contacts, new people. See, like that would play well into this, like unknown contacts, network of people, like new people. Like maybe somebody's going to reach out to you and give you information on something that you had no clue about, that you kind of like missed. So like maybe there was like, you were in a space before, hence why it's a little bit like self-sabotagey, because it was like you weren't in the space to even receive. Like when I say receive, it's like, maybe this is something where it was like, it was always there for you to access, but you were so caught up in your own little whatever that it's like, it never dawned on you. You didn't realize it. Maybe you got paperwork and mail about this, and you just like, you know, people, they grab their stuff and they shove it over here and they end up throwing it away. Like you were so that you didn't, you know what I mean? But you can expect new contacts, new connections in regards to this. Okay, so let's bring it out just a little bit and wrap this up. We've got New Era Elements. Oh, Lord have mercy. It's that kind of a day. Let's get back to the Knight of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles. See. It's like something, it's the same. It's the fucking same. Okay, let's go back. Let's revisit. Let's revisit. Same here. You see how the new start had the Ten of Wands? Like this is done. Like this period of difficulty, of mental anguish, and mental confusion and like feeling spent, so much so that you couldn't seem to, you know, like turn over the new leaf, or your new start might have been elongated. You may have thought like months ago, like 8 months ago or 6 months, like it was supposed to happen then, but it dragged on for some reason. And now they're saying you're at the tail end. Like the new start or whatever this is in regards to your finances can actually begin, because things are finally in balance. The help, whatever it is, actually gets to come in, whether it's because it was pushed off because of your inability to see something, or it was pushed off because it just wasn't a good time to bring it in, because it just wasn't. Because we have the disappointment and the defeat card surrounding the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is that new trajectory, that new passion, that new desire. You know, like it's picking up the torch and going for something. It is a new spark within somebody. And it's like they're echoing this. This is like the new start. Yeah. Ace of Pentacles. Between the Knight of Pentacles, I feel like the Knight is just the idea of ushering something. Let me pull all this up so you can see it. The Knight is the idea of something coming in, being ushered in, brought to you. And it's just the right help for a new, like a new financial start in life is what I want to say. And then we have the Magician for this manifestation to come in with the High Priestess. It's like it was always meant to come in. Something delayed this from happening. It was either the need to really allow yourself to kind of like eliminate or purge the rest of some level of turmoil to get your mind and your energy back right, like for this manifestation to come in, because you're in the right space now. Let's just look at the Magician with the High Priestess. High Priestess is what you were meant to do. You know, it's kind of like she's got tarot cards here, but it's like having the book open and knowing what you're supposed to do. But now you have all the resources, all the things that are necessary. And it's like, why give somebody the resources? I feel like Spirit's saying, why give somebody the resource when they're not in the right frame or energy to be able to utilize that resource appropriately? Like you just weren't ready, and now you are. So it's coming in. We're going to leave it at that, because I feel like we could totally just like go 10 years on this thing. But we're going to leave it at that. I hope this message finds whoever it's meant for. I hope everybody has a fantastic and wonderful day. And I will be seeing you guys later this week.